Alright, Josh here, and welcome to another Pokemon Sword and Shield discussion video. Now today we'll be talking about the Pokemon Direct that happened the other day in terms of a competitive aspect. By competitive I mean VGC. I won't be talking about singles, I don't know enough about it to talk about it basically. So yeah, we'll be talking about basically most of the time we'll be talking about Dynamaxing and how it's going to affect VGC. And yeah, I'll probably go through the list of Pokemon as well, because you know, some new Pokemon that I want to talk about very quickly and some other stuff. But anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. First up, Dynamaxing. Now, where do I start? I basically took a few days to think about this because my instant reaction to it, and I'm still kind of think of it, like my instant reaction was like, oh, how will that work in VGC? Like, and honestly, like I just can't see it working in VGC. I imagine they will make it work in some way, but like in singles this makes sense. Like, okay, you both have one giant Pokemon, cool. But in VGC there are 4 Pokemon on the screen, so like at some point you could have one giant Pokemon and then what, everybody else's Pokemon are tiny. Like, it's just like, I mean, I don't think they won't be able to have it if they do implement it into VGC, which I'm 100% sure they will, by the way. There's no way they're gonna not put this into VGC. It's a new feature. They've never taken out a new feature. They didn't say, oh, here's Mega Evolution, but you're not allowed that in VGC. You know, they will put it in. I guess they might have it like, I don't know if in the trailer they had these max raid battles where you play with 4 other people, and they kind of have like the 4 Pokemon lined up, and then the thingy one, I've forgotten the name, Dynamax, is literally right in front. The Dynamax one goes behind. So maybe we could do that, like have, you know, 2 Pokemon side by side, that the classic, and then when it Dynamaxes, you know, it kind of switches position, so like the giant one's behind and your other Pokemon's in front. Maybe that could work like that. Obviously Dynamaxing is only 3 turns, and obviously you get these stat boosts and stuff. Now the thing about it being 3 turns, like it feels like it should be pretty easy to stall out. You know, via protect. You could protect, switch in a fake out user, fake out, protect. You could stall it out by fake out. It's kind of like stalling out Tailwind in a way. So I don't think it's too bad. Like, it depends how much, like the moves. I mean, if the moves go through protect or something, kind of like in the way that Z moves do, that could be problematic. Especially because if you look at these moves, like we know Max Strike, which is a normal type, I don't know, Dynamax move, if that's what it is, does lower the speed stat. So I would imagine that all of these have some sort of secondary effect, whether it be lowering a stat, or I did mention in my other video, talk about this, that maybe like the electric one paralyzes or something, like the fire one could always burn or something like that. That could be pretty interesting. We don't know how strong these moves are as well. If they're kind of like Z move base power, yeah, that could be a little busted. Not, I mean, actually, yeah, it'd be like if you had 3 Z moves. Actually, that would be busted. They can't be that strong. I don't think they'll be like Z move power, but it'd be interesting to see. But I just don't know. I don't know if it'd work or not. But I can see this working in singles, which I have this slight like alarm bell going off in the back of my head that, like, imagine if they change VGC to singles. Like imagine, I mean, if there was kind of like ever a time for them to really change up VGC, because I mean it's been like kind of like, although obviously every year you've got different features and different rule sets, you know, it's always been doubles. And Pokemon throughout its history, like, it started as singles. Like, most of the time throughout the game you play singles most of the game. You have like the odd double battle in game, really, don't you? But most of the time 90% of the time you're playing a single one-on-one. So if there was ever a time for them to change VGC to singles, I would say it would be this year, and I would be so gutted if they did that. Like, the best thing about VGC is the fact that it's doubles. It just gives so many more options for combinations and all sorts of stuff and strategies. If you turn it into singles, I'd be extremely disappointed. Maybe a lot of people will probably be extremely happy, but like, I think the people who play VGC at the moment would be really frustrated. But let's hope that doesn't happen. But I think, you know, you definitely will be able to use this in VGC. It just depends how busted. I don't think it's like busted because, like, obviously because of protect, fake outs and stuff like that. But it depends on how strong the moves are. I kind of see it as like a tailwind kind of thing, and it depends as well, like how you Dynamax. Do you need to hold an item to Dynamax, or can you just Dynamax whichever Pokemon you fancy? Like there's no way you will be allowed at some point in the future, you know, like allow Xerneas to Dynamax after it's Geomanted. That's just like, that would just be ridiculous. And this is the other thing, like it can't be a hold item because, again, in the future, like VGC 2000 and, well, it's not going to be, probably not, obviously not 2009, not 2020, not, like 2022, what are you going to have, like a Mega Evolution, a Z-Move user, a Dynamax user, yeah, it's going to get like, and two restricted, say, it's going to get out of control. Like, even like VGC 19, like, just the fact that you have to have like 2 restricteds, a Mega, and a Z-Move, already takes up 4, well, you know, maybe not always 4, you can have a Z-Move on your restricted or whatever, but like, you know, it feels like it takes up 4 slots instantly. Like, this is just another slot filled on your team, potentially. Like, we don't know exactly how it works yet, but in terms of just like appearance of the game, I think it's going to be a bit weird how it works. I'm definitely interested to see what happens. But yeah, I'm not 100% convinced on Dynamaxing. I just really hope they don't turn into singles. That's like my biggest worry. I kind of don't think they would, but at the same time, like I said, if there was ever a time for them to do it, this would be it, and it would really shake it up. It'd be the biggest shake up for sure. I did talk about these moves already. I think Max Guard is going to be kind of like a protect type thing. It seems like every non-damaging move is just turned into Max Guard. I'm guessing it's like protect for sure. Like it has to be, really. But yeah, okay. Enough about Dynamaxing. Maybe I'll come back to it in a bit. But there is one thing that I thought was really cool. So there's these new Pokemon. You can watch the other video if you're interested in my opinions on those. This Dreadnought, like, Strong Jaw's a good ability. But like, I can't see this being like super powerful or anything. I can't see it being like too relevant. Corviknight getting pressure and Unnerve. Now Unnerve's a big one. I really like Unnerve. Like, if this like, Steel Flying is a really good type. Like, especially because of all the fairies. Like, if this Pokemon's like decent stats wise, I could see it being used quite a lot. Like, let's face it, it's going to get Tailwind. And Unnerve is just great. Like, stopping your opponent using berries. That's so clutch. That's a great thing to have. Now, my favourite one, I mean, Fluffy's quite a good ability as well, but I can't really see Wooloo being anything like, you know, how many times are those like kind of like Route 1, 2 Pokemon really anything special? Well, in terms of competitive. I mean, there are exceptions. I mean, Talonflame is a super obvious example of an exception to that. But most of the time, they end up being like kind of average, if anything. But this, okay. So this Pokemon, Eldegoss, and Gossifleur get it as well. So they both get regenerated, which is really nice. This new ability, Cotton Down. Look at this. Lowers the speed of a Pokemon that attacks this Pokemon. That's pretty cool. Now, especially because, I mean, just look at it. If this gets Rage Powder, I mean, it's definitely grass. Do we know its type? Oh, it's just grass. It just says grass type. I don't know if it's pure grass or it's grass bug, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, if this gets Rage Powder, that could be super nice for setting up, like, you take away an attack and lower your opponent's speed as well. As long as it's not like a Trick Room setter, obviously, or something. But that could be really nice. Like, I tweeted about it the other day. I said move aside, Amoonguss, if this gets Rage Powder, which I really feel like they should give it, to be honest, with Cotton Down. This could be a great support. If it's got decent bulk, it could be like a really good support Pokemon. You could even give it a Focus Sash, to be fair, but that could be really good. So yeah, I really like the idea of this ability. Hopefully we see some more new abilities as well. I really want to see some more like Intimidate users. That's like my big one. Also, like, you know, a classic that we've been saying for years is like a special type Intimidate, but I don't think that's too necessary, because you know you can lower special attack with certain, you know, like Snarl is a classic one, unless they added like a special type Intimidate, and they added like a physical type Snarl move that lowers opponent's physical attack. That could be quite interesting. I like the idea of that. So the last thing I'm going to go through in this video is obviously the we did see a lot of Pokemon that were available in game. So I want to go. I've not actually looked at all. I watched the trailer, but I didn't pay. I saw the odd one that I thought, oh, that'd be good in VGC. But I didn't pay attention to all of them. So obviously we've got the new Pokemon and the stars. I think Corviknight could be good if it, has decent stats. It could be viable for sure. Flying Steel's nice, and Unnerve's a really good ability. I really think Eldegoss could be really good if it gets Rage Powder. If it doesn't get Rage Powder, I don't know. I can't say, but maybe not as much. And Wooloo, depending on what it evolves into, Fluffy's a pretty decent ability. The fact that Raichu's there is great. Lightning Rod, Fast Fake Out, Encore. Raichu's always been a good support Pokemon. These lot not quite relevant. I guess Vikavolt had quite a bit of usage in VGC 17 under Trick Room. It's got a really good 145 base special attack. That's really high, and it's really good. It is good in Trick Room, especially in this type form, like a National Dex kind of format. Wishy Washy's Bite. That's quite interesting. I didn't see that in the trailer. Yeah, even Wishy Washy in VGC 17. That was pretty decent. Hydreigon is nice, and Flygon. I can't say we'll see too much Flygon, but Hydreigon's obviously a great Pokemon, really good. Braviary is great as well. Defiant, hits super hard. Again, we saw a lot of that in VGC. In VGC 17 and in 18. To be honest, it carried on quite a bit. Can't see Trick Room Warlord with Water Spout could be. It's definitely a thing. Meowstic is a nice little prankster. And Lucario's a nice one, actually. I didn't know we had that. Nice redirection with Follow Me. Inner Focus. Good typing. Strong. Tyranitar. Of course we have to have Tyranitar in this Dex format. Tyranitar's always so good when there's just... It's not great in restricted formats, sadly. But when it's a non-restricted format like 17 and 18, it's really good. It's such a good Pokemon. Snorlax again, great. We get, of course, Trick Room, Belly Drum shenanigans are going to be afoot again, I believe, which is fine. Bring your Snorlax counters, everybody. Got all the EV evolutions, of course. They're not always too relevant. Serena being there is quite interesting. I really like Serena. Queen of the Majesty is such a good ability. It's a really good support Pokemon. I'm actually glad they added that in. Boba Fett's more just annoying than anything. Abomasnow again could be good in Trick Room. Same with Rhyperior and Steelix. Steelix maybe not as much as Rhyperior and Abomasnow, but they could be used. Dusclops is a really good Trick Room set, actually. That could be quite common. And Gigalith, yes, we all remember fake PG, don't we? So Gigalith is another one that in Trick Room could be super threatening. Gengar is there. That's clutch. We like Gengar. Fast. It's just a good Pokemon, isn't it? Jellicent's a pretty good Trick Room set as well. And Mudsdale, actually. God, I forgot Mudsdale even existed. It gets Inner Focus. Has it always got Inner Focus? I know it has that Stamina one where its defense increases. That's pretty cool. I mean, you could use Butterfree. Seismitoad. I don't know if there's any Drizzle users. I don't think we've seen any yet, but if there is some sort of Drizzle, maybe there's a new Pokemon that gets Drizzle. That could be quite viable. Charizard's always pretty good, especially if you get the Sun Up. Holucha again, with a seed. Although I don't think you'll be able to get the Tapu. So if there's a way to get the terrain up, or if they give other mons terrains, that'd be quite good. Mantine's okay. Guess Wide Guard actually, and Water Absorb is pretty nice. Guess Swift Swim as well actually. Milotic is great. It was so good in VGC 17 and 18 actually. It was great in both. I really like using it. Oh yep, there's the Drizzle user. There you go. Pelipper. You can pair Pelipper with Seismitoad. That could be quite viable. The new classic Double Duck. Do you remember that flipping it? Lantern. I can't see it being too. Gyarados is great. Intimidate. Super important. I can see Gyarados being popular. Paired with Raichu, you could Dragon Dance. That'd be really good. And Arcanine being back is really good. Again, Arcanine. by far the most popular Intimidator in VGC 17. It was literally on every team, and then Incineroar came and ruined it for VGC 18, didn't it? So it looks like probably no Incineroar next year. Yes, and more Arcanine and Gyarados. That's really nice. Malamars are really good in that type of format as well. With Contrary and Superpower and Trick Room, and just nice. Haxorus is quite an interesting one. Could you get Haxorus in Sun and Moon? Like, I don't think I've ever used it. We had Garchomp. I remember that being all over the place. Hey, Haxorus, the new Garchomp. 147. I mean, you get Dragon Dance as well. It's not bad, actually. There you go. No, there's Ninetales. You can still Drought with Ninetales and use Charizard and Solar Power. That'd be super nice. Oh, you can get Bronzong, actually. That's, again, another good Trick Room setter with a classic. And then, obviously, and that's it, basically. Although Slurpuff. Does that get Trick Room? That gets some stuff that I know it's... I can never remember what that does. I know it does stuff that's annoying, but... Yeah, so I'm really happy that, like, Arcanine, Gyarados... Like, this already, just from the Pokemon there, there's some good potential, like... Good potential for teams already, you've got we know there's a Drizzle user, we know there's a Drought user, so and a Sandstorm user, we've got Tyranitar, so we know there's some good weathers, there's some good redirections, and fake outs, tailwinds, just strong Pokemon overall, so I am definitely excited to use those, and it'd be interesting to see what new Pokemon we compare them with, what new abilities. I really hope that Cotton Down, I really hope it gets Rage Power, I think that's really cool, but yeah, that's about it. Like I say, Dynamaxing, I'm not really 100% sold on it. It could be okay, but I literally think it's just going to be one of those things where I have to wait and see. I'm just, like I said, I'm just super worried they might change it to singles. But if they do, there'll be absolute uproar. It'd be funny if they did, though. It'd be like, all like the doubles VGC players like switch to like Showdown, and all like the singles players from Showdown switch to VGC. That'd be that'd turn the world on its head. That'd be crazy. But I just don't know how they can do it in like I said, the only way I can think they can do it in terms of like aesthetics for the screen was how they do these raid battle things. Let me see if I can find the raid battle thing. Sword and Shield. Oh, I could have just gone this side. I am stupid. Oh, here we go. Max raid battles. Let's see if there's a picture of it. Oh no, there isn't. Give me the screenshots. Because it looked like they were all like. Yeah, this is it. This is the one I want you to look at. Yeah, see if they did something like this, can you see like all the Pokemon? Yeah, but look how small they are. It just looks weird. So like obviously you've got Flygon and Golurk here, but you just have one on the other side. Maybe they could do it like that. I mean, it is only 3 turns. I don't know. I guess we're gonna see, guys. Anyway, all this. I mean, like, this Gyarados is completely screwed here, unless it's at +1 speed with Does it get Earthquake? I don't think so. This Gyarados is screwed. Anyway, cheers for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think about Dynamaxing and its impact on VGC. It's definitely going to be interesting for sure, but it's hard to make your mind up right now because there's still loads of speculation. Like, can you just protect, stall it out, protect fake out, stall it out? Can you... Do the moves go? What do all the moves do? Obviously, we've seen that one can lower speed. I'm guessing that all of them have some sort of secondary effect, which is, and we don't know how strong they are either, which is honestly the main thing. Because like, if they all get like a 50% boost based off, like the HP stat of the Pokemon we saw got boosted by 50%. So if all the move base powers get boosted as well, oof, like like stuff like Superpower, maybe like 180. Is that what Z move like Fight Z would be? But that'd be like 3 Z moves. See, that would be a bit busted. But like I said, we don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, cheers for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you all in a bit.